This week, we have Jonathan Fastborg to talk with us all things disc golf and what the scene and its popularity is today.
Yes, pour the coffee. Häll kaffet.
Top of the mustache to you, and welcome to another episode, a very special episode of Mustaches and Coffee. Where the topic goes, nobody knows. I'm Isaac.
I'm Ben.
I'm Jonathan. Wait, yes.
As you notice, we have a special guest with us, and I forgot to mention this to you before we started, Jonathan. This is our 20th episode. How do you feel about being on our 20th episode?
Feels very good. Congratulations, 20 episode.
Thank you. It is. I can't think of a more fitting person to have on, to be honest with you, because we're big fans of yours. We enjoy what you're bringing to the scene of disc golf. So we had to have you on, talk about it. I'm just excited to have you on and just hear what you have to say, because I think disc golf is one of those things that's starting to grow in popularity all over the world, not just in local, certain areas. So we're just so pumped to have you on, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm also 20 years old, so it's very fitting.
Well, that is fitting. That's perfect. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this, shall we? I'm excited, so let's get into the interview. Jonathan Fastborg has a YouTube channel, Latitude 64, where he talks all things disc golf, giving different tips and tricks, but also having a lot of fun. So we are honored to have him with us, and we're just going to have a nice chat, just like we do on Mustaches and Coffee. I've got my coffee ready. I hope he's got his. We're going to just have a good time. So I might just start with this question for you, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I hope you're ready. We're not going to grill you too bad. So
bring it.
We'll just what got you into disc golf? What's maybe a point that you thought, this is something I'm really passionate about and I really want to get into it and maybe even make it a career?
Yeah. It was very on a banana skull. That is banana peel. I just slipped into disc golf. I lived in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, and we were about to move up north. And I was in media work, and I saw this ad, people hiring for this company called Latitude 64 as a media thing. And I applied for it. I went on an interview with Johannes. He's in the videos. And then they were like, you're not going to get this job. I was like, okay. However, you can get a job as working with video production. They've seen some YouTube videos that I made on the side in my spare time. So but I didn't know what disc golf was. I was like, all right, what is this thing? And I've never heard about it. And they said oh, you can get a job here, do videos for us. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then slight problem. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what this is. Luckily, as I started playing it, I enjoyed it. It would be really, really hard. I've been at Latitude for 4 years now. So imagine if I like hated disc golf, that would be really hard to make like videos working for it full time. So it was a bit of a long shot, sort of like they took a chance on me, and it panned out really well for me, at least. Hopefully for them, hopefully they're satisfied too. So that's how I sort of found disc golf. It was just very boring. Like, I need a work, and it worked out fine.
Very cool.
You need
Yeah.
that crash.
I can tell. And you have that like sense that you're not this well, let me show you how it's done. I think you're very talented, and you show, in the video you're more laid back. You're kind of that everyday man. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. You just make it fun, because sometimes if we're gonna kind of jump over to like golf or other sports, even like baseball, or that's kind of popular here in the States, football, they're very like, let me show you how it's done. This is how you should do it. I really appreciate.
Hold my bear. Move over.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I say those things in the videos, but I can never live up to my own like hype. It just ends badly. But I think I wanted from the start to give as honest of an like view on me and how I play and stuff like that, because I think it's very important to be genuine. And I couldn't just stand there to say like, oh, buy this, it's so good. I can throw it, but it's very good. So that was never my intent, and it's still not my intent. So yeah.
I totally get that. That's so awesome. I appreciate those types of videos that that welcoming you in. They just, it's not just, this is a secret club only people can be in. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I do the same. Like the content creators that I watch, like I did a thing. He's very bad at making things, but he makes it really. He's very transparent with the whole process of his failures. So that's
right.
I show all of my failures for like 4 years now. But I mean, it's for me. I enjoy showing those things because I think it's funny when I can't make a putt or whatever. I don't really care. It's fun. So I do care. I get annoyed. I do get annoyed when I miss putts. But I think it's just very important not to portray an image of yourself that you're not.
Right. I get that exactly.
So like, once you're listening to the podcast, I guess the question is, they're like, all right, they see this and they say disc golf. So like, in your words, what is disc golf in your own words?
It's an activity that I think a lot of people should do. It's very enjoyable. You go out and with a couple of friends, it's always good weather, always. It never rains. And it's like golf. I've played like regular golf. I know this is a like touchy subject. Yeah. But you get a disc like this, and you stand in a spot and you try to get this disc into a basket with as few throws as possible, and try to make it fun. It's just you keep it fun. I think that's the most important part. Like, who cares?
I think like what's so great about disc golf, I've been playing for about 3 years, although I feel like I've only been playing for 2 weeks.
Same.
So like, what I really enjoyed about disc golf is it's relatively cheap. Like with golf, it's like $40-$50 to play 18 holes, but it's like you get the discs and it's free. You just go and you play and you have a good time. So that's what I really enjoyed about it.
Yeah, me too. I think it's very accessible. And not just as in like the price points and stuff. You can get expensive, and you can buy like hundreds of discs. Like you need to. You can buy one or just borrow one from a friend. And I do like that aspect of the sport too. And I think that sort of leads to the community around disc golf to be very, I don't know, I just think it's very laid back. and non posh. It's it's not like, oh, look at me with this thing.
Exactly.
It's very, I don't know. I just like it. As soon when things get very posh, I go, no.
I get
not
that.
For me.
That's what I was gonna ask too, because that's why I was bringing up how I appreciate your videos. That's probably the word I was trying to say is posh, just very upper. Like, no, this is a secret club. So for the landscape of disc golf, like for me, I've played a few times, but I'm very much your beginner. So what are some things you would tell someone that's starting to get into disc golf? Maybe some tips or what you would recommend?
I would say to, well, keep it fun, especially if you bring kids. Like, try to keep it as fun as possible, but then don't pick discs that are very, like, don't look at the pros and like take all of their stuff. That is that sets you up for a lot of frustration. I would say just like get a starter set and try to have as fun as possible with it, and not like I did. I watched before I even started my first thing. When I got the job, I looked at like disc golf and like, yeah, I can totally, but like, what is this, 500 feet? It's just I don't care. I can make that any day. And then I picked up a disc, and reality hit me very, very hard in the face. Because it's not. It looks very simple when you look at the pros, but it's very, and it looks so like effortless. It's like, oh, it's very, it floats like, oh, it's very, oh, in the basket even. Wow. But then when you pick it up, it's not the same thing. So I would say to just keep it simple. And this, I can't live up to my own words here, but try to just be smooth. Johannes, as my like colleague, he always thought, be smoother, like be more quiet.
I think you should do the opposite on that one, because I appreciate when you're talking like you said, you're just having a fun time. I can't say that enough. You know, I recommend anyone haven't seen your videos, check it out. It's a fun time because you're just out there having fun. And you've got these just quick lines, this sense of humor that really adds to it. I mean, I find myself laughing so much. There was one video where you were getting tips on like getting the bend on the disc, because if you have a tree or something, you got to get around. And it was something along the lines of how you approach it, like go in a straight line. I can't remember exactly, but you had a piece of paper that you wrote down. Someone had asked the question, and he said, how do you keep it straight, or how do you throw it this way? And he just said, you don't. And you just stopped. And you just went, oh, and you just looked down at the paper, like little stuff like that. I find hilarious. Just your delivery, how you approach it. So I have to commend you on that. Just keep that up. Even if he tells you to shut up, don't do that. Just keep it going.
No, I tell him to shut up. He doesn't tell me. I tell him to not annoy me with like being smooth, because I try to be smooth, but there's a moment for me, like if I'm gonna throw like this. There's right about here. This is called like the power pocket for those who don't know. Like I can't find it, but people can. This is like my primal. Something happens when I go this to this. Right here, I go primal, like survival mode, and I just jank it, like all arm, just go like so. But before this, like I'm gonna be very smooth. No, I'm not. And I just jank it. So I've tried to be more relaxed when I play, but there's always a thing where like my work is to bring a camera and play disc golf. To have a camera in your face and to do something that's supposed to be like enjoyable and relaxing and sort of therapeutic, and then you have this, it's not really ideal for those. Like when we record, it's not my favorite rounds. My favorite round is just warm summer evening with a couple of friends and no cameras.
Right.
I would say.
Just have fun.
Yeah, just have fun. And with the, like, my favorite part of my job is probably the edit when I find those most. I try to, if I make myself laugh when I edit, like we have an open office space, and I sit there, and my people go like, "Oh, are you laughing at yourself again, Jonathan?" I was like, no, totally not. No, it was this other guy. He said a very funny thing. So
awesome.
Yeah, luckily people seem to enjoy those parts, because if they didn't, that would make my work in life way harder, because I enjoy that a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how many tournaments have you played? I think I've seen a little bit.
I think it's just like 3, I think.
Yeah.
Because I thought about it today, actually. Like, maybe I should play a tournament. But it's the thing where, for me, disc golf, I don't see it really competitive in my case. And in my... Like, it took a couple of years for me to realize that I'm not as terrible as I think I am, because I play with these like pro players all the time.
Right.
And then I went on a course with a couple of friends that were sort of on my level. I went like, "Oh, you also hit all of the trees. That is nice." It's because I just see people do the most amazing things, and they say like, "Copy that." Like, okay.
I can do that.
And then I go primal and jank it. So,
yeah, I've only played in one tournament. We had a tournament last October. It's in Middletown, Ohio, which is just like 10 minutes from where I live. They shut down the street. It was like urban disc golf. And
whoa.
Yeah, it was cool. So
Windows.
they had the Yeah, exactly.
That was what I thought too. I was like, Windows.
Yeah.
So one guy did like hit a building like where the glass was, and it broke, but he's like, well, if you look, there was a crack already, so I'm gonna blame it that somebody else did it.
That's honest.
It was an awesome tournament. The only problem was it was super windy and a storm came in. So
and also Windows.
In Windows.
And Windows. Whoa, that's a very that is so how was the experience? That is a not weird, but it's an not usual start. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play urban disc golf in a hurricane.
Yeah, I shot 22 over, which was actually, I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah. Was it a full 18 hole?
It was I think they did 24.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it went like it looped around the city and came back and everything. And then what was really cool is at the end, they had a basket down below this building. So you would go up to the very top of the building. And if you got an ace from the top of the building, you won like a disc golf set. And one guy came really close, but that was pretty fun. Just throwing it off the building, trying to get it in.
Well, he should get the whole building if he makes that. I think that is like a lot. Yeah. But how do you get like permit, or is that like a guerrilla style? We're just doing it.
So
if you see sirens, you can just run or stay. We don't care.
It's like street racing. Yeah, you just avoid the cops, and then you pack up and run if they come up. Yeah.
You see, this alley is a very good one to avoid the cops. You can run.
Yeah. I think they had a permit that they had to get from the city and everything. I just remember the very last hole. It was a real short one. I think it was maybe like, I want to say 75 feet hole. I threw it and it kind of went straight and it wrapped around somehow, went behind this trash can randomly. So I'm like trying to throw behind this trash can. It was just, everything fell apart.
Yeah.
I'm blaming the wind.
Yeah, I've been trying to get access to play disc golf inside IKEA. I call them because I want the thing I want to do is I want to play in IKEA, and I want my boss's credit card to pay for all my damage. So she have to stand there at the end to pay for, because I want the last hole to be in like the lamp chandelier section.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just gonna go full bore. I'm gonna go primal, all primal. But I called them and they were like, "Huh? Do you want to what? Why?" So I'm working on that still.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'll keep an eye out for that. That just sounds amazing. I would
Yeah.
watch that in a second. That's so cool.
Yeah, me too. I want to see how much damage I can make. Great there.
I did see that it was with Paige Pierce and a bunch of other professionals. I think they played in Mall of America.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a cool video.
Yeah, but I want to wreck stuff. I want to destroy things, and I want my boss to pay for it.
I'll know that you got some good like smooth talking going on if I see that video, because I'm sure it's going to take some convincing to do. But
yeah, I'll just say like it'll be fine. I'm sort of a pro, so it's fine. Nothing's gonna be. It's fine.
Make that at the beginning of your video, like disclaimer, like we're gonna be as careful as we possibly can, but once you get into it, you're just like you said, wrecking stuff. That'll be, be amazing.
A hotel.
Yeah, they're gonna go like, so can we see some other videos that you made? Like, nah, it's fine. You can trust me on this one.
But like you said, you're with like pros, so you just bring a pro with you, and you make it look like they're the ones doing it. But I'm excited.
Look at how good he is. He's not gonna hit all of the chandeliers.
Right. I'll keep an eye out for that. I'm excited at just the thought of that. That's a really good idea for a video.
So like there's flight numbers on these discs. So what do those stand for? I know what they stand for, but I know hopefully not to put you on the spot.
All right. No, wait, you're asking the right person. I know all about this. Yeah, there's a debate within Latitude where
it shows up.
I can see the fuse. Do they have the flight numbers on that one?
Yes.
I have a fuse there, but
yeah, it probably shows up better.
This is my drawing, but there's.
If I can show it.
Like I think we set our.
There we go.
Like one standard throw of 100 meters, which is 340. I don't know, something around that. Yeah, and then so this is tricky. So it's 4 different numbers. There's speed, glide, fade, and turn.
You got it.
Oh, wow. Hopefully my boss. I want to race, please. And the speed, it's at the speed you're throwing the disc.
Yeah.
Everyone write this down because this is very accurate. And then the glide is like how much air is underneath, like how much it glides. That is all I know. Like more glide, more distance. I think. And then the turn is how much, if you're a right-handed backhand thrower, it's how much to the right it sort of glides. Because if you want most out of a disc, it will go is sort of like an S curve, like this. That would give the most distance on any disc, sort of.
Yeah.
So the turn is how much it goes to the right. If it's a lot of turn, it will go and just die in a corner on the right. But then you have the fade and where it comes back. And if it's a lot of fade, it will come back a lot. And it's not the easiest thing to do to set those flight numbers, because if I pick up a disc, I will throw it in my very bad way. And that will probably, if I set those numbers how I throw it, it will be different from someone else. So it's, I think it's like, it's the best out of the worst solutions to this, sort of. But it gives I've heard an indication of what disc you're supposed to pick.
Yeah.
But then every company has different standards with that. Like Innova has one thing. I think they started with it.
I think so.
Then we have our thing and Prodigy, and every company has like different solutions. But it gets really tricky if you overthink it. So just read them and it'll be fine. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think they go up to like 14 speed.
15.
15. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. So when I first started playing, it was like, oh, like you said before, it doesn't seem like it's that hard. So I remember getting like a 14 speed. I think I had the Innova Corvette or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically just took off running as fast as I could.
Yeah.
And it goes.
Yeah, you went primal, man. You went primal.
I went primal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, usually that's the case. Like picking very like distance drivers and very overstable ones because you look at the pros and they can throw a thing very, very good. And that makes it different. Like if you start out, don't go above fairway driver. I would say mid-range because you got putters, mid-range, fairway, and distance driver. But I also know that you want to pick the drivers. When I started out, Johannes went, you should probably just throw putters. Like, I'm just going to throw distance drivers, I think. I'm just not going to throw putters at all. So that's the sort of, when you start, you don't want to just have this one putter to throw with. So, yeah, we make sort of easy to use distance drivers in a way, but it depends. You need to be able to throw, I don't know, 200 feet or above to even have any sort of use out of them. Because if you pick the thing with drivers, and in the beginning you can throw sort of a distance drivers as far as a putter, sort of. And with now we just have a mid-range here, but a distance driver is very like sharp. That also means like if you put it on the wrong angle, it's going to sort of cut through the air more. It's going to be harder to control the angles instead of like a putter is very thick, so it's just going to like plow through. Like, I don't care, wind, just take this. So yeah.
And I have to ask, like, it might be a little bit on a topic, but you're talking about how you need to have the right disc to use in situations. So what came to my mind is there's so many of your videos. What one was kind of the trickiest, or one that you were like, man, I really got to think this through on what I'm going to use? Again, you're doing this laid back, but you're also trying to get a good score. What course can you think of that was probably the trickiest?
Oh, the most horrible one. I can say the most horrible one for me. I played, it was my first Pro Tour course. I played, what's it called? Dynamic Disc Open. That one of the main, I played both, but it was Country Club, I think it's called. And the shared distance, like, I think the first hole is like, is it like 700, 800 feet or something?
Oh my goodness.
And it's just, and it was windy too. It's in Emporia, Kansas. It's like plain fields and a lot of wind.
Oh wow!
And it was just like I got so tired because my form is very not good, and so that was probably like it was hard from the beginning. Then I started to think about like what disc to pick and then just gave up. I was like, I don't care. And I threw some in the water and some and got dark. I woke up the next day feeling like I've never had this before, but I was like, I can really go for an ice bath right now. I never had that ever in my life. And then we went to buy a bunch of ice and we put him in the bathtub. And then someone said, like, in the US, you can just pick the ice from the hotel. They have this machine that was just right next to our hotel room. We were like, oh, that would be a lot easier to do. But yeah, that course was just, I really got just way more respect for the pros that they practice that course and many other like this very distance course thingies. They practice it and then they play it for like 4 rounds and then they sit in a car for like 20 hours and do it all over again.
Yeah,
I'm like, how do you even have a back anymore? How do you function? How is your shoulder not just mush?
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't know.
That's why they're pros, I guess, right? I mean, that sounds exhausting. You're just telling us. I can only imagine
Yeah, I'm
going
tired
through that.
now, just repeating it, like remembering it in my mind. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna do that one. I do that once, but I'm not gonna do that again. Not those distance courses.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
Maybe I'm gonna do it again. I don't know.
So my biggest thing is like, so it's funny. My brother got me into this. He, so growing up, we would always play baseball, you know, doing this motion. So that's kind of like how we trained ourselves to throw the disc. I think it's forehand, if I'm saying that right. So backhand is something I struggle with. So like I have a video, it's only 8 seconds long, but this was throwing the fuse, and then there's a side angle. See if there's anything you could think that I could work on, or any tips. So here's the little video. So this is using the fuse.
Buy it. I also struggle with that. Is very, very like I would say the number one thing that messes up things in the beginning. I'll try to see if I can make sense of this. Like when you're throwing, like so, if you throw it with this sort of angle, it's called nose up. And when that happens, you get sort of an air bounce, like it goes like so. And when you show the flight plate like this for the elements, it will just push it upwards, and then it's gonna stall out in like so. So because you're not sort of cutting through the air in the correct way, so that is a very key one tip that I sort of think about. I struggle with this too, a lot, less now, but still. A scary amount. I try to think that I'm sort of, when I'm holding the disc, I'm trying to think like I'm pouring tea, like so. So you keep that angle. It helps if you have a tree on your arm, so you can just see the angle.
I just have to draw one now.
Yeah, and yeah, so the nose angle. I mean, you can focus on try to get the right momentum and the right like coil or whatever in the body. But if the angle of the disc is wrong, you can't get like proper distance. So I focus more and more on the right sort of nose up angle and stuff like that, instead of like wearing up my body.
Gotcha.
I would say.
Yeah,
Even though I'm 20 years old.
Yeah, we get older, and then those types of things, you wonder, how did I do that when I was that age? When I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Here's another clip. It's just a quick one of the side angle. So I think you will see that in this one. I did throw it kind of nose up. So here's the video.
That nose up thing is very clear there. But it's very, when people start out, Frida, who is my colleague, and I'm forcing her to be in the videos too, because I like it when she's in the videos. Yeah, she's very, very embarrassed, but it's very, very funny, and she enjoys it. If people have seen it, I sit right next to her at work too, and I annoy her at all times, and she annoys me too. But I saw a comment on, I think it was the last video or the previous one, where a guy just took her side and went like, Jonathan, you need to stop, like, not harassing, but stop being so, and not mean, but like on Frida at all times with the camera. But I know her, and I have to, like, she annoys me too. That's what I'm trying to say here. It doesn't show in the videos because she's all shy. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor that I have, so throwing forearm, I'm always doing the 2 fingers.
Yeah.
So the grips, that's where I struggle with. Any tips on how to grip it properly? I know there's power grip, fan grip.
Yeah. If it's comfortable, as long as it's comfortable, because it's so individual. People sometimes they pinch with their pinky. Is that the foot? What's
Yep.
the little finger? Is that the pinky? Pinky toe or pinky finger? Is it all pinky?
Pinky finger.
Yeah.
Sure, it's all pinky.
Okay. Yeah. It's all pinky, man.
All pinky.
But yeah, it's very. I keep it like this. This is sort of like a modified fan grip, but then you have the power grip too, like so. I've never tried a power grip, maybe because I'm gonna do it in a video, so I'm saving myself.
There you go.
So I would say to find a grip that's comfortable. You can sort of toss it a little bit, and you find that nice thing, because I think it's more important the angle of it. So I would use a modified fan grip if you're not. Because it's in the middle of, because some use throw like this. I don't know how that would work, and this for me is very, it just feels aggressive in a good way, but also like I don't know if I can handle it sort of way. So modified fan grip I would go for if you don't know. Yeah,
that's perfect.
But this is the thing too. It took me 2 years because I threw off tee with this grip, and then I putted with this grip. And I was like, why am I not allowed to just throw like this too, like up shots? And I asked Johannes, this was like 2 years in playing disc golf. He was like, you can do whatever you want. Like, yeah, I guess so. I was so set on like, I have to do this or that. But I don't care. Just do whatever works. Because you can look at the pros. Some have very unique sort of putting style. Matteo has a very unique putting style. If you don't know, it's and it works. So if it works for you, who cares? Just do it.
Yeah. That's what goes back to the casual. Yeah. That's why I think disc golf is kind of growing, and popularity is just, it's more laid back. You know, it's kind of, it has golf in the name based off of golf, and that's very much what you're saying of, you're going to have to focus. You're going to have to do all these different things, but at the end of the day, you have your own style. It's still going to work out the same. You can approach a hole or a way that you're going to form your shot any way you want, as long as it works. That's what's so great about it, and having different styles.
It's fun. Oh, what's her name? Scoggins, FPO player. She primarily just throws super, super overstable discs, and on a flex line it's called, and it works really, really well. Yeah, I think it's Scoggins. I'm hoping it's the right name, but we don't sponsor her, so it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah. So, but it works really well. So, do a thing.
You just remember people that you sponsor. You don't, out of sight, out of mind, people you don't sponsor.
No,
so
the other ones, they're dead to me.
I don't know you. Get out of here.
Yeah. Who are you again? Paul what?
McBurger?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. He's great. He's great.
So there's so many names of Latitude 64. I got a few. This one, actually, one on Twitter. Somebody gave it to me. This is a Latitude 64 compass. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they did their own perfect design on it. I got the fuse.
Cool. Yeah. That's good. Buy it.
Buy fuse. Yeah. And then I got striker. So
it says here. Oh, I got it. I don't know. Fuse. I forgot it, but it's there.
Anybody listening? Go out and buy fuse. So there's some of the discs called like Stiletto, Grace. Yeah. Is there any? How do they come up with the names? Is it just something I've wondered about?
Mm-hmm. Well, before I started at Latitude, I was like, I'm betting it's sort of like a secret committee, like a really cool, like they have like hoodies on and it's dark and there's candles. And when we have a disc called Rive, and that was literally me and Thomas Ekström, who is one of the founders of the company. And for some reason, I didn't have vacation time as the other people at the office. So it's me, and he came into the office like, we need a name for a disc. Like, okay, I've been working here for like 2 months, but all right, we'll do it. And it was me and him sitting in a room, Googling. I Googled cool English words with 4 letters. So, and that is. Google starts now.
Hi, Google.
She's spitting cool 4-letter words. Thank you.
She's spying on you. That's what's going on.
She's coming up with a new name of a disc golf.
Yeah.
Man.
Did she just give you the search for English cool English words?
Yeah. Very helpful.
Awesome.
That's
awesome. So yeah, it's well, sometimes we think we have a thing called Royal Line. It's grace, trust, honor. So those sort of words are in the same sort of category. And then with like other trilogy, there's just a bunch of companies like West Side. It's more medieval, I would say.
Yeah,
King, Queen, Prince is a new one, I think. Just so many. It's so much stuff. There's so many discs, but it usually ends up with us in a room. Everyone's on Google, so she can't hear me, and
she's watching,
just trying to find. Oh, I have this. We have a regrind plastic. And I just really wanted it to be called Reload, and I was That's like, cool. I want to throw a bag. Yeah, it's good, right?
Right.
I have all of my discs in the bag should be in the Reload plastic, because it also works with the regrind Reload thing.
Yeah.
Then there was like we couldn't use it because there was a retailer or something called Reload, and that I was just annoyed with that for like 6 months, so it was fine.
So an idea I had for a disc golf name. See what you think. So it says Mustaches and Coffee.
Yep.
So the driver would be called the Flying Mustache. The mid range would be called Cup of Coffee or Cup O Coffee. And then the putter would be Espresso. That way, when you shoot it, it's a shot of espresso.
Oh, that's good.
You like that?
I would. What was the first one? Flying Mustache.
Flying Mustache.
I would just call it Mustache.
There you go.
Yeah, just go Mustache. Like I'm gonna use the mustache for this.
Or handlebar, because that's the popular mustache.
There you go. I like it.
I'm gonna get the handlebar, and then you said for the mid range, you could call it Cup of Joe.
Yeah,
something like that.
Would work.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah,
yeah. We like. I want just when we name this, cause like make it sound cool. Just make it sound cool, because it's not just. I think when people think about like, why wouldn't I want to throw Reload? Like why? I want to throw Reload, not regrind.
Yeah,
I want to throw Reload. Then again, because it's very, I don't know, a bit primally sort of thing. So we keep that in mind when we name the discs for sure. Yeah,
they're really cool. I like that Reload. That should be something that
good,
I agree with you.
Yeah, I know, like I think about it and it was like a year ago, but I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm clearly over it.
We might. Well, I like Ben's idea too. So maybe we'll get to the point where we have Reload, and then we have like a Mustaches and Coffee edition. With the handlebar, Cup of Joe, espresso, because I'm digging that. I think I'm about to go out and buy a set myself, and then I can use it when I go play disc golf. So I'm digging it for sure.
Yeah.
But why should everybody buy Fuse? We see it on your hat. Why should we buy the Fuse?
It was so a little bit of backstory. I was about to film a video, and we didn't have discs like at all. They were all gone, sort of. And I asked my boss, like, I need some disc for a video, and he went, there's some orange ones in a box there. And I went, fine, whatever. I didn't know anything. It was in the first year. I didn't know, like, what is this? What is Fuse then? I don't know, because they were blank. They just didn't have a stamp on them. And so, but then because I work with marketing, I went, well, I need something. It needs to be something. And I've heard like people like to see a smiley because you get an emotion when you see not just people smiling, but just that smiley thing makes it, something happens in you that is good. So I drew that and I just put I'm a fuse because I wanted the sort of some branding thing. So that ended up like this.
That's awesome.
And then
cool.
people started, so it was a coincidence. Luckily, this disc is just very versatile, and like if I'm gonna pick one disc to play around with, I'm gonna pick that one. It's just very, it's beginner friendly, but it's also into the intermediate section of players. So it's broad and nice.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
I like the name because it's like you could also say if you're gonna try and do a big drive, you can be like, "All right, I'm gonna light the fuse," and then you just kaboom.
Yeah.
So it's got a great ring to it. I really dig that.
That is a very old mold, as it's called. I think it's, I don't know how old, but a couple of years before my time, way before my time. Yeah.
And I will have to say, so my bag has a bunch of different varieties, but I tend to since watching your videos, gravitate towards Latitude 64. I guess your videos are working.
Gotcha.
But I've noticed like the quality, even on, there's different plastics and everything, but even the quality just seems a lot better than like what you can get at a local store or whatever. Just, I don't know. There's something about that. I don't know if that's your experience too. Just the quality seems better.
Well, thank you. I make all of the discs myself. No, I think it's just, I think it stems from the people who founded Latitude 64. I've been in well, I know them personally, most of them. Well, I know them at various stages, but I think it's just their sort of strive to. That's another disc we have. Strive. It's weird. Brain is broken, but they started out in a very small basement, like very very small. Like this, you can't see this room completely now, but a very small area, and now it's like a fancy pantsy posh like industry factory. So I think it's just that, and also you have the guy who does the machine thing and innovates. He's the son of one of the founders, and another person, Oscar, who the first guy's name is Linus, and then Linus's brother, Oscar, he now sort of designs discs. So he's also the son of one of the founders. So I think it's just passed down that sort of pride, I think.
Yeah.
And to always try to, we have this, I can't say this. We have things in the works, like stuff with the smart people, Linus and other people have this. I can't talk about it, but it's in the factory, like making stuff
secret.
very, because the problem is because for me, like just make all the discs the same, just push the thing in the machine, like whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just plastic, but it's just way harder to make it consistent, because that's the thing. Like we talked about the flight numbers of these. Just like you make the same recipe, like everything is supposed to be the same, but they turn out different. Well, this is different colors, but like different flight wise, but you have the same flight numbers. So people go, this doesn't make sense. This is the same disc. Why are this one behaving differently? So it's very, I think that's the holy grail of disc golf manufacturing, is to make it completely consistent. But the problem with that is like, I talked to Thomas Ekström, who was one of the founders. He goes, yeah, we can make it super, super, super consistent right now, but then we have to use like medical grade plastic or whatever, like really, really, really expensive plastic. So the plastic itself is just super pure. This sounds like we're starting like what's it called? The series with the meth.
Oh, like, we got like a lab.
What's it called? Breaking Bad, like the quality.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think like purity, it has to be pure, man.
Yeah.
But then it gets really expensive. So it's a balanced thing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's just the people in the factory who does the real work at Latitude 64 does a really good job. And also the fact that we manufacture for other companies too, like DD, Dynamic Disc and Westside.
Yeah.
So the sheer volume of the production gives lessons to be learned. I'm trying to avoid the sun here, but it's very right there.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you're all right though, but
this is very artsy, like half of my face.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
being
be
all artsy. Hi.
Very artsy.
Yeah.
Dark side. You have a two-face, like one
Oh, yeah.
side, is your fun side, and one is your darker competitive side. Maybe that could be a video.
This is the real me.
And I think the only last question I have is probably just the Latitude 64 logo. Do you know anything about how that came about? The little swoosh.
Yeah, I think that was Thomas Ekström who made it. I think it's a riff on like Nike because it's very elegant and but it's and it was also sort of it's sort of like a disc flight thing with something around that stuff.
Like it.
But
makes sense.
Yeah. I think I want to make something really clean and cool. Yeah.
Very cool. I appreciate. I like the story behind stuff like that. So that's really, really cool. So, well, maybe we appreciate your time, but we do have real quick. We have what's called a universal question. So these will just be kind of quicker questions for you. Again, we can't thank you enough for coming on. I'm gonna have Ben run through these though. So these are just more about you, the person, Jonathan. So So I'm gonna spin it over.
Now we're talking about the dark side. Now the dark side.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
All right. So favorite movie line or general quote?
Favorite movie line. Oh, movies.
There's so many.
There's so many movies.
Or even just comes to your mind, like when you think of a quote.
Yeah, but like it's Swedish. It's Swedish ones.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, what's just a general quote? Like there's life lessons. We also just curious if anyone has a favorite.
Well, I'm gonna say a quote that let's say it's from. All right, this is totally from my favorite movie. I can't just remember it right now, but don't take critique from someone you wouldn't take advice from.
Very nice.
And that's from the movie. Yeah. But that advice I really like. When I started working with social media, I thought it was going to be all right. Bring on the hate storm. Luckily, it's never like. I wouldn't say that I'm disappointed, but everyone's so nice all the time. I don't want hate necessarily, but I bring it a little bit.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think my new favorite quote was the one you had about Earth and horses.
Oh yeah,
I want that on a T-shirt now.
Yeah, what was it called? Like, what did I say? Like thousands of nature was a bigger part of Earth thousands of years ago, but then so much stuff wasn't invented. Like, and Johannes goes, horses. I'm like, yes. It's very smart. That sort of stuff you can learn if you watch our videos.
Yes.
They don't teach you that in school. No.
Science education at its best.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite band or artist?
I would say the band that I've been listening most to, like for 20 plus years. Oh, well, all right, I'm 20, so I guess when I just got born, I would say Rage Against the Machine, or now I listen to Alpha Wolf. Very angry,
Okay, nice,
aggressive Australian metal band. And I have a story there. I don't get like what's it called when you meet someone you look up to? You get
nervous.
You get nervous. Like I don't care,
Nervous.
sort of. But then when I asked them to like, can I please? I like your songs a lot. I wrote from Latitude's like official account too. I wrote them like, can I please? Hey guys. I was fanboying. I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
And then they replied, and I told everyone like Alpha will replied that I can use their songs, but now I can't because we monetize our videos would get demonetized, so I can't use them. Yeah.
I've been listening to it's a Switzerland band. If I'm saying it right, Catatonia.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I'll have to send you the link. They're really good. I think you'd like them.
Please do. Yeah. I like it. They're just really, really angry, and sometimes I just like a good Josh Groban ballad.
Josh Groban in a metal band. I want to hear that.
I got a funny story to throw in real quick about Josh Groban, just because I think you'd appreciate the humor. So I have a friend of mine. I'll give him a shout out. His name's Seth. We would go to a pool hall and play pool, and they had a jukebox. But our tradition after we would leave is we'd put like $10 into the jukebox and put Josh Groban on repeat and then just leave.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
It backfired one time though, because it started before we could check out because we had to go pay, and it started playing. And the guy working there looked up and was just like, "What is this?" Like he was, and we're like trying to get out, like, "Oh no," because it's gonna be repeating for about an hour now. So
yeah, I do a similar thing because usually on Fridays I'm the only one who has speakers because we watch like my videos before they get published, so I don't like do a mess up. But I usually on Fridays I'm the like office DJ, so I put on a playlist. But then when I leave, I usually leave a bit early on Fridays. I still can control like via my phone what's on the speakers. So I just like pick the weirdest and just crank the volume so it just blast through the office. That's my Friday tradition.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite meal or food?
Oh, this is so boring, but taco, I would say. It's so boring. Yeah. It's just
they're good.
And now the kids, I have 2 kids, 3 and 5. And well, they make a mess out of like when they do their own taco with the bread, and they like it a lot. But I just see the hours of cleaning up ahead of me. But yeah, I would say taco. It's just so versatile. It's like a fuse. Yeah. It's the fuse of food.
Yeah,
awesome. Favorite vacation?
I went backpacking in Asia for like 10 months a couple of years ago, and it was just it was me and my best friend. We just went and had those no stress, no worries. It was very, I don't know, it's just very, very different. I wouldn't want to go 10 months right now, like so, but it was just like a trip that we still talk about on maybe almost a daily basis. It was just so much fun stuff that happened, and got me and him really close, and that was really cool. And it feels like I could relax more when I got home, because like now I enjoy traveling, but I don't like have an urge to travel like I used to anymore.
Sure. That's really cool.
Yeah. And Vietnam was my favorite country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Bucket list item.
So I can say back in Nam too. Yeah.
You can actually say it. It's appropriate.
Yeah, I can say it.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Bucket list item. Something you want to do before you kick the bucket.
I do not want to swim with sharks. I don't like deep, like dark waters. That is not my bucket thing. Bungee jump, no. I want to go to Iceland because I've
cool.
heard that like Swedish and Icelandic, they talk like we used to 1,000 years ago. So that would be cool. And it's very, I think it would feel like to travel back in time in a way. Yeah. Going to Iceland, and they have this warm reikar. I think I'm using that. Like warm, it comes up from the ground. I sound really smart right now.
Like a geyser, some kind of geyser water.
Yes,
yeah,
There you go.
Yes, I was just about to say that word.
I'm terrible with words too, so it's like I appreciate when someone just jumps in, tells me.
Yeah.
So again, we are Mustaches and Coffee. Again, we thank you for joining us. I have a question, and then Isaac's gonna have a question. Your favorite mustache? I see you're kind of rocking one.
I've been getting into it.
Yeah.
All right, just for this occasion, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I've never done mustaches. My dad has been. He has had a mustache for 50 years.
Oh yeah,
wow.
More 60, probably 60 years. So he got it down. But I'm doing this sort of light. I can't go more than this because I like it. Like just. Is it there? Is it not there? To be mysterious?
Yeah.
Is it intentional? Is it not? It's very much intentional. So for me, it's just like a little bit. But yeah, I'm a bit. Usually with this like styles, like dress, like how you dress, I have 2 years where I go like, what is this nonsense? What is this like tight jeans? I would never in like 2 years. Like I love this. This is me now. So I'm 2 years behind on every sort of trend.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out. Maybe you'll have a different mustache on videos upcoming. They'll kind of change,
or just a dress. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in 2 years.
In a dress.
I have no idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who knows? It'd be awesome. I'll keep an eye on it. So
yeah.
So the question that we finish on, since we asked what's your favorite mustache, we have to ask what's your favorite coffee.
I'm doing the pressed thing. Shoop.
Yeah.
And like the brand, I like it strong. I'm gonna say sometimes with milk. This is very me. Like I like it really strong. Like I like death metal and a little bit of Joe Rogan. I like it really black and like aggressive. But like, well, it's not as long as it's not sweet. I'm not really into like sweet coffee, like drinks and stuff. I just like coffee, like plain coffee. But I do like the press thing because it's like a ritual. It's like I do this in the morning, and then I can like calmly press the coffee when my children like smacks me like this and yells at me. Just calmly like, this is gonna be fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I like the sort of thing with. But then you have to clean it too.
That's the only thing. Yeah. I'm with you there. We do that on camping.
Pressed coffee. It's called pressed. Is it called pressed? You know this.
French press.
French press. Yes.
Yeah. They're not fun to clean.
I guess I'm a French press guy.
That's perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
I like some French press too. I just don't like cleaning up. I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah. And every time I'm like surprised. Like, oh, I need to clean this now. Like I forgot that step of it. It's odd.
Yeah, we had to clean it. We took it camping one time, and it's 10 times harder camping because you don't have like a sink and all the stuff to clean out. So it's like, why did I do that? Why did I put myself through it? It was a great cup of coffee, but at what cost?
You just threw it in the woods, like.
Thank God.
That's where I got my form with the disc golf, was throwing a bunch of French presses into the woods. Yep, that's it.
There's just a pile, like so.
Who's littering with French presses?
It's a new sport.
It's very posh to litter French. It's a very posh like activity to do.
I'm gonna get that on a T-shirt. It's very posh to litter.
Yeah. Yeah, get with it, kids.
Oh man, we've had such a great time. I'm again can't thank you enough for coming on. It was our honor to have you with us.
Absolutely.
Just awesome. We'll have to have you back on because I think we could talk a lot more about
Sure.
disc golf, but we kind of got into the basics. So let's go ahead and wrap things up though. We're gonna move into our last segment.
Last drop.
Brought to you by Coffee.
Take it away, Ben.
Are you trying to lose weight and your diet isn't doing it for you? Does it feel like you keep just banging your head against the wall? Well, studies have shown that banging your head against a wall burns 150 calories an hour, although we don't recommend that. So don't despair. You can still work out those love handles. That's what I got.
That is very good. That is very good. Can I quickly out my brother here?
Go for it.
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest things. we used to live. We had this small cabin sort of at my mom's place when I grew up. I was like around 13. He was 14, and I was in my cabin. And he is in his cabin. And we used to play. I used to listen to Disturbed and play Need for Speed Underground, and he did the same in his cabin. So 2 different cabins, and it was like midnight, pitch black, and I hear this boom sound, like
oh no,
really, what is happening? Like a loud banging noise, and from his cabin, and so I went out, and it was winter. I was like, what is going on? Like, is he okay? And I go in, and he sits in his like sofa thing, and I see on the computer like he. Like the car went like this, and because he was in the lead in Need for Speed Underground, so it's like this, and just just standing like so, and he sort of rubs his head like this. It's like, what? All right, what is happening? So apparently, well, he smashed into the wall in the game, and he got so angry. And this is where he burned some calories and probably some like brain cells. So he runs head first into the wall. and that was the sound that I heard. And I was like, that is not very smart. That is not a very smart, in so many different levels of just not smartness. So yeah, he burned a couple of calories.
I think there's better ways to burn calories if that's your intent.
Yeah, probably.
We don't recommend that here at Mustaches and Coffee. Don't bang your head against the wall, even though I'm just surprised they track these kinds of things. Like who comes up with this idea of, hey, Bill, how many calories you think you burn when you hit your head against the wall? I don't know. Why don't you try and I'll track you? Like,
I'm way ahead of you. He's already just banging, having it. Like the Apple Watch, doesn't that like count calories burned?
Yeah.
Probably put it like on his neck like this. It's like no. Like this is very good. We're doing science.
Oh, you know what? You should try that with your coworker. Maybe that's what it was. It was a trick for their coworker to make them do silly things, and they were trying to study burning calories. So he tricked their coworker into banging their head against the wall. Maybe you should try that.
Sounds like it.
Well, again, we've had so many good laughs, man. My stomach's hurting from laughing so much. This has been a great time, but we want to be sure that listeners are able to find you, Jonathan. So we kind of open it up. Where can people find you at?
They can find, my address is, on YouTube, just search for Latitude 64. And if you like it, consider subscribing. If not, just leave a hate comment if you want to. There's so few. Just like really go for it. If it's some like ugly person you think I'm lookalike, just write it to me so I'll know. I need some more hate. And if you want to check out like our stuff, we have good stuff. If you want, if not, it's fine. Just do your thing.
Well, we think you've got some good products with the disc golf scene. So, like me, I'm just I've only played a few times, but it's something I've thought about picking up. So if you're new to the disc golf scene, check them out. Definitely go to the link and get their discs. They're good quality. Like Ben was bringing out, he's got a few of them himself. So, well, let's make sure we do our due diligence. So Ben, why don't you tell everyone where they can find us at?
So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Stash and Joe. We are now on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to us. And if you're not sure how you can listen to us on Google, just search us on Google, Mustaches and Coffee Podcast, and you'll see what available platforms you can listen to us.
Great. And whatever platform you have, be sure to give us a 5-star review. That way more people can find us. So I'll say it again. Thank you so much again, Jonathan, for joining us. We had an absolute blast, and hopefully ones that are looking into disc golf, this will be a good education for you. Kind of get the tips that was brought up by Jonathan. And again, we recommend checking out his channel. A lot of good tips on there as well.
And buy a fuse.
Yes, get a fuse as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like we always say, though, don't bash the stash.
I need espresso for the depresso.
Bye, fuse.
Goodbye, everybody.